Hello, wealth tycoons. Gaming is more than just a pastime for some people. It's a way of life and even a job for some. PlayStation, made by Sony, and Xbox, a Microsoft creation, are the two biggest gaming companies in the world. Both have die-hard fans, great games, and the newest technology. Many people have devoted their life to the debate of PlayStation versus Xbox. Let's talk about some valid points from this never-ending debate in this video ahead. For decades, the PlayStation and Xbox have been competing with each other. It all began with their first systems. When Sony's PlayStation came out in 1994, it truly changed the game. Most systems use cartridges before the PlayStation, but Sony chose to use CDs instead because they could hold a lot more data. This meant that games could have more levels, better images, and even video that moves in real time. The PlayStation 1, or PS1, was a huge success, selling more than 100 million machines. Many people still love the games that came out for it, like Final Fantasy VII, Metal Gear Solid, and Crash Bandicoot. Then the PlayStation 2 came out in 2000 and shocked everyone. At the time, it was pretty cool that it could play DVDs as well as video games. With over 155 million units sold, the PS2 became the most popular game system of all time. It was a must-have because of games like Grand Theft Auto, San Andreas, God of War, and Shadow of the Colossus. In 2006, the PlayStation 3 came out. It had a rough start because it was so expensive, but it got better with great exclusive games like The Last of Us and Uncharted. When the PlayStation 4 came out in 2013, Sony knew what not to do again. The PS4 was fast, cheap, and came with a lot of great games from the start. It became the best platform for single-player games thanks to games like Bloodborne, Horizon Zero Dawn, and Spider-Man. Sony's fastest and most powerful system to date, the PlayStation 5, came out in 2020. Immersion is what the PS5 is all about, with its super-fast SSD, 3D sound, and unique DualSense joystick. On the other hand, Microsoft's Xbox came out in 2001. Xbox Live made it a lot better than PlayStation, even though it came out after PlayStation. At the time, this online service was one of the few that let players fight against each other over the internet. Halo, Combat Evolved, one of the first Xbox games that sold a lot of units, was a big hit. When it came out in 2005, the Xbox 360 was a big hit thanks to its great games and online features. But it had a big problem, the Red Ring of Death, which was a hardware problem that many early units had. With that too, the 360 had great games like Skyrim, Gears of War, and Mass Effect. When the Xbox One came out in 2013, Microsoft did some things wrong. At first, it cost more than the PlayStation 4, and some people didn't like how it focused on TV and leisure instead of games. People learn out of their mistakes. So did Xbox. Things got better over time, thanks to patches and great exclusive games like Forza Horizon and Sea of Thieves. Both the Xbox Series X and Series S came out in 2020. The Series X is their most powerful system, while the Series S is cheaper and only works with digital games. Both put a lot of emphasis on Game Pass, a paid service that lets people play hundreds of games. Xbox is set up for a bright future thanks to big purchases like Activision Blizzard and Bethesda. These game systems are the newest and best in gaming technology, but they handle power and performance in slightly different ways. The PlayStation 5 is a huge, powerful machine with a futuristic look that makes it stand out in any entertainment setting. There is an 8-core AMD Zen 2 processor and a strong 10.28 teraflop GPU inside, which makes it easy to run high-end games. One of the best things about it is the custom 825GB SSD, which starts games very quickly. In many games, you can go from one level to the next almost instantly, and there are almost no loading screens. The PS5 also comes with the groundbreaking DualSense controller. This controller does more than just vibrate. It has advanced haptic feedback that lets you feel everything from light touches to big hits. The adjustable triggers make pressing buttons feel more intense, which makes things like drawing a bowstring or speeding up a car feel more real. Tempest 3D audio tech is another cool feature. It makes a sound that surrounds you and guides it in a way that makes you feel like you're in the game. The Xbox Series X from Microsoft is different. It has a simple, rectangular, tower shape that some people joke looks like a mini fridge. And yes, Microsoft did make a real mini fridge with this shape. It has a 12 teraflop GPU and the same 8-core AMD Zen 2 processor as the PS5, which makes it a little more powerful on paper. The 1 terabyte SSD that comes with the Series X is fast, but not as fast as the one in the PS5. Xbox is better than PlayStation because it has tools like Quick Resume that let you switch between games right away without losing your progress. Let me take a break and inform you that we have created an ebook for the top 100 businesses that you can start this year, and we will give away this ebook for free. Just comment on our video, and I will share the link to download it. Let's get back to the video. The Xbox Series S, on the other hand, is less expensive and lets players on a budget get into next-gen games. The Series S has only 4 teraflops of speed and no optical drive, but it's a lot cheaper and still works very well at 1080p or 1440p resolution. When playing games in real life, both the PS5 and Xbox Series X have beautiful 4K images and smooth frame rates. Some games might look a little better on one system than the other, but you'd have to put them next to each other to tell the difference. Some games load faster on the PS5 because its SSD is faster, but the Xbox's Quick Resume feature is great for gamers who like to switch between games quickly. Both systems need to think about storage. Both the 825GB PS5 and the 1TB Xbox Series X quickly get full of new games that can be over 100GB each. Both the PS5 and Xbox can add more storage, but the PS5 needs a special and expensive SSD that fits in its expansion spot, while Xbox uses expansion cards that are easier to find. Games are where PlayStation and Xbox show how different they are from each other. PlayStation has built its name on making amazing games that you can only play on PlayStation. These video games are like big-budget Hollywood movies made into video games. They have heartbreaking stories, beautiful graphics, and characters you'll remember forever. For example, The Last of Us Part 2 will make you cry, and God of War, Ragnarok makes you feel every punch Kratos throws. Then there's Horizon, Forbidden West, where you fight robot dinosaurs in a beautiful open world, and Spider-Man 2, which makes you feel like you're really web-swinging through New York City. A lot of people choose PlayStation because of games like these that you can't find anywhere else. Xbox works differently. The only big movies they don't have yet aren't as popular, but Game Pass, which is like Netflix for video games, makes up for it. For a small fee every month, you can download and play hundreds of games. The best part is, on the first day, all of Microsoft's new exclusive games go straight into Game Pass. And since you're already a member, you can play the new game right away without having to pay $70 for it. Xbox has been buying up big game companies like Activision, known as Call of Duty, and Bethesda, called the Fallout and Elder Scrolls. Soon, there will be more Xbox-only games like Starfield, a space opera, and the upcoming Indiana Jones adventure. PlayStation still has the best exclusive games right now, but Xbox is quickly coming up. PlayStation is great if you like single-player games with interesting personalities, but Xbox Game Pass is the best deal in gaming if you want to play a lot of different games without paying a lot of money. PlayStation Plus Extra is Sony's version, but it's not quite as good because the games aren't as new, and the biggest Sony-only games don't come out right away. There are paid services for both PlayStation and Xbox that let you play games online. However, each one has different features that may make one better for you than the other. There are 3 levels of PlayStation Plus. It gives you a few free games every month and lets you play games online. With the middle level, you can download and play a huge library of games as long as you're a member. It's kind of like a video game menu. There are also old PlayStation games included in the most expensive form. Xbox has a similar service called Game Pass Ultimate, which is like a deal for Xbox users that has everything they need. You can play games online, download more than 100 games, and stream games to your phone or computer without a powerful console. The main difference is that Xbox Game Pass Ultimate seems like a better deal since it comes with brand new games as soon as they come out in shops. Like getting to play the newest, hottest game without having to pay full price for it? That's what Xbox's service lets you do. You can play great games with PlayStation Plus, but not always the newest ones. Xbox often gives you games for more than one generation of consoles. Both sites offer free games every month. Both work really well these days when it comes to playing games online. Back when the Xbox 360 was new, Xbox was better for online play. But now PlayStation has caught up. It's easy to find people to play with on both systems, and the links are stable. Voice chat also works well. The online service for Xbox works great on Windows PCs as well, which is a small plus. If you play games on both your device and computer, your friends list and some games can sync. Just a minute, if you are enjoying watching the video, you can appreciate our efforts by pressing on the like button. Subscribing to our channel will make us happier. Ha! Let's get back to the topic. No one else's DualSense controller looks or works like the one that comes with the PlayStation 5. You can feel different textures through the controller while you're playing a game, like how walking on sand is different from walking on concrete. There is also resistance on the controller's triggers, so pulling back a bowstring feels heavy and tight, and firing a machine gun feels like quick, sharp kicks. It even has a microphone built in, so you don't need a headset to talk. However, the battery doesn't last as long as we'd like. You will need to charge it after 6 to 8 hours of play. There is also a small speaker on the controller that plays sounds from the game. This makes it feel like that blast or whisper is happening right in your hands. There is nothing new about the Xbox Series X/S controller. Instead, it improves on what was already good. The grips are textured so they won't slip when your palms get sweaty during exciting moments. The shape is good for most hands. The normal rumble feels good, and the triggers have their own small motors that add vibration when you are driving or shooting. It doesn't have a fancy vibration like the DualSense, but it's still good. If you use regular AA batteries, you can quickly replace them when they die, and they last weeks instead of hours. This might be the best thing about it. People who play games on PC can use the Xbox controller with most Windows games right out of the box, without having to do any extra setup. Many of your favorite old games can still be played on new game systems, which is pretty cool. Backward compatibility is the term for this, and the PlayStation and Xbox handle it in different ways. Most PlayStation 4 games can be played on the PlayStation 5. This is great if you have a lot of PS4 discs or internet games. And some games look and play better on PS5 with smoother frame rates. Sony has been slowly adding really old PS1 and PS2 games to their PlayStation Plus premium service, but you have to pay extra and the list of games isn't everything. If you were hoping to play your old PS2 discs, you'll be let down. They won't work unless Sony adds that game to their service. Backward compatibility works a lot better on Xbox. You can play games from the big black Xbox from 2001, the Xbox 360, and the Xbox One on the Xbox Series X and S. With better graphics and more stable performance, many of these older games look and run better than they did when they were first released. The best part is that you don't have to wait for Microsoft to add your old game disc to a special service for it to work. You can just put it in and play. Adding FPS boost updates to old games has even made them look almost brand new. These make the games run at 60 or even 120 frames per second. The Xbox is the better choice here if you want to play old games or have a collection of them. If you want to spend a certain amount of money, both PlayStation and Xbox have different choices for you. There are two kinds of PlayStation 5. One has a disk drive for $499 and an electronic-only version for $499, and a digital-only version for $399. The more expensive version lets you play both downloaded games and games on discs, which is great if you like to share games with friends or buy used games. Even though the digital form is less expensive, you can only buy games from Sony's online store, and prices don't go down as quickly there. You can do even more with Xbox. The Series X, which is their best model, costs $499, just like the PS5, and it's just as powerful. But they also have the Series S for $499, just like the PS5, and are just as powerful. But they also sell the Series S for just $299, which makes it the cheapest next-gen system. The Series S can only play digital games and isn't as powerful, but it still plays all the same games at smaller resolutions, which is great if you don't need or want 4K graphics. The price doesn't just include the machine. When it comes to PlayStation games, they tend to stay expensive for a longer time and don't go on sale until they're pretty old. Because it costs only a few dollars a month, Xbox Game Pass can save you a lot of money if you play a lot of games every year. For both systems, controllers and other parts cost about the same. A new controller costs between $60 and $70. When you add more storage, it costs a lot. An SSD that works with the PS5 is more expensive than a regular hard drive, and Xbox expansion cards are also not cheap. Both systems let you play older games on external USB drives, but for next-gen games, you need the built-in SSD or an approved expansion. Both PlayStation and Xbox have exciting ideas for the future that will change the way people play games. Sony is working on several big games that will only be offered on PlayStation. There will likely be more Spider-Man games after the huge success of Spider-Man 2. It is said that a stronger PS5 Pro model is on the way, which could make games look even better by making the graphics and speed better. With the PSVR 2 gear, Sony is also putting more emphasis on virtual reality. These experiences are so real that you feel like you are in the game world. Sony is happy to try new ways to play, even if VR isn't for everyone. Microsoft has big plans for Xbox as well. They recently bought several big game companies, which means that in the years to come, there will be more Xbox-only games. Big games are coming out soon, like the fantasy RPG Avowed and the intense action game Hellblade 2. Microsoft is putting a lot of money into Game Pass and is always adding new games and making the service better. Cloud gaming is also growing. This lets you play high-end games on phones, tablets, or low-power PCs by streaming them over the internet. You don't need powerful gear to do this. For people who can't afford expensive systems or PCs, this could change the game. A handheld gaming gadget from Microsoft is also being talked about. It would be similar to the Nintendo Switch. Which game system should you pick? What kind of games do you like to play, and how do you like to play them? The PlayStation 5 is probably your best bet if you like to get lost in single-player adventures with stories and characters that you'll never forget. Sony-only games are like interactive movies where you decide what happens. They are emotional and beautiful to look at, and the memories they leave behind last a long time after you stop playing. Games like The Last of Us, God of War, and Spider-Man make the PS5 worth the price of itself if you like these kinds of story-driven journeys. With its advanced vibrations and adaptive triggers, the DualSense controller adds a new level of realism that you can't get anywhere else. It makes every action feel more real. If you'd rather play a lot of different games without spending a lot of money, or if you love online games that you can play with friends for months, the Xbox Series X or S might be better for you. In terms of deals, Xbox Game Pass is by far the best right now. For about the price of a new game every couple of months, you can download and play hundreds of games. Also, Microsoft is putting all of their brand new, one-of-a-kind games on Game Pass from the start, so you don't have to pay full price for them. If money is tight, the Xbox Series S is the cheapest way to play next-gen games, but it doesn't have as much speed or the ability to play discs. Also, if you've gathered games over the years, Xbox is the better choice because it can play games from all Xbox versions. Also, think about where your friends play. If all of your friends play on the same system, you might want to join them for social games. If you want a great machine that will last for years, you can't go wrong with either one. With its exclusive games and unique controller, PlayStation feels more high-end, but Xbox is a better deal and gives you more options. Try both at a friend's house or in a store if you can. This will help you decide which one feels better. The best system is the one that lets you play the games you want and the way you like to play. Whether you pick PlayStation or Xbox, you'll get a great piece of technology that will keep you entertained for hours on end. Both will keep getting better because they are competing with each other, which is great for all players. Are you gang PlayStation or gang Xbox? Tell us in the comment section below. If you want us to cover any particular topic, leave it in the comment section and we will take it from there. Till then, you can check out our already existing videos. If you enjoyed watching the video, do not forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. See you soon in another video.